All right, so I'm working on a new project for one of my clients, and I was playing around with some of the notifications, getting that all hooked up, and I found something really cool with Monday. So one of the integrations that it allows is for you to send text messages and or calls to whoever you want to, and you can do that automatically. So one of the things that my client wants is to automatically send text notifications to some of his contractors. And one of the problems is that his contractors aren't very tech savvy. So they don't necessarily want to learn or even need to learn how to use Monday for their work. They just want updates for what kind of project it is and the details, just a couple of the details. If they need more details than that, they just need to know who to contact after that. They don't need to see a board. They don't need to learn how to use computers. They don't need to do any of that. So I was playing around and I figured out how to set it all up. So I've got my Monday board here set up. It's a quick blank board I put together, and I added a new project. So this one is just called John Doe, and that's the client. And then we can add more information here. So let's say I wanted product information. Let's go and add some text. So project info, and that could just be whatever you want to write about the project. It has a yard, and then you add that. And then you add the phone number for who you want to notify. And what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be changing this over to a system where you can select one of your people. So in this case, for this client, I'm going to have a list of his contractors, and he can just select the contractor that he wants to notify for it, and then it'll automatically input their phone number. So just for setup sake, I put my own phone number in here, and then I have a button. And this button, as soon as I click it, it'll send a notification to that phone number, and it'll give all of the relevant information about the project. So if I click it, I should get a notification here on my phone. Oh, there it is. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to see on the screen here, but I just got a notification. That'll show up. It's sent from my Trello account. Hey Gideon, we just got a new project for, and then I have a little in quotation marks what kind of project it is, and you can select which kind of project from the Monday board. In this case, I just have camera installer. We've got a new project, camera installer, for you to work on from John Doe, so that'd be the client name, due on June 22nd, 2021. And then it'll pull it from this date right here. It'll pull the information from the type of project, and then it'll pull the client. And this will all be customizable, so when you set this up, it'll pull all the information from that card specifically, and then it'll input it into a crafted message that you can set up beforehand. And then at the very bottom, it has information to get more information about the project. So I just put here email/text John for update for details, so they know that they can contact the client or they can contact one of their team members, and you can craft that message however you want at the very bottom. But it is so cool how this gets set up, and you can add pretty much any phone number. You cannot add existing phone numbers. So if you're trying to send messages from your phone, you can't do that. You have to go through one of the provided phone numbers from Twilio, which is the third party that I'm using to set this all up. But you can get pretty close to your own phone number, and you can use the same area code if you want to give it more of a less of a bot feeling. You can have it so it has a local area code. In addition to all of that, I found out that you can have it so they can reply to that message, and then they get more information, or depending on what they say, you've seen those texts where you'll get, they respond cancel or stop to stop receiving those notifications. You could set up custom things where if they reply more information, it'll automatically give them more information about that project. So this means that if you have a team that's not really tech savvy, or if you have people that they don't want to have to learn how to use a different software for keeping track of projects, you can kind of come to them where they're at, and you don't have to try to bridge that gap, and you don't have to constantly be fighting against somebody who doesn't want to learn something, and you can kind of meet them where they're at, and they can stay in their zone of genius for a lot longer. So this is really, really cool, and I'm loving how this is working so far. It is a paid service, though, unfortunately. It's like, I think, a seventh of a cent per text, which can add up if you send out a lot of notifications. But typically, you're only doing this to a couple people in most cases, and so you probably wouldn't be spending more than $1 or $2 a month on the whole setup. So I think this is really, really awesome, and I'm just having so much fun playing around with all of these different tools and getting this all running completely automatic, where you don't have to do a thing, and it automatically send notifications to people. It'll let people know what's going on and where to go for the information, and just automating your whole business.